Hello, Adam Cook from godisageek.com, but you probably know that if you're already subscribed to the podcast, which is likely given that you're probably listening to this on the podcast feed. But regardless, you may or may not know that we have a Patreon, which we basically ask people if they fancy giving us $1 a month, and they get this podcast, well, not this podcast, but every podcast, usually a couple of days early, and it's usually about 15 to 20 minutes longer. But what we never actually tell anyone is what's in that extra bit, and the thing is, it's kind of usually unrelated to the games part of the podcast. It's kind of letting you in, knowing more about us, what music, what films we watch, that kind of stuff, and generally just what's been happening in our lives. So for a change, I thought what we do is we take a little bit of that, just a snippet, mind, just a little bit, and we pop it here so you can see what you're missing, kind of, and maybe look. It's basically me hoping, all of us hoping that you'll stick $1 down a month, because times are tough, and hopefully you'll find this funny. I mean, I laughed. I listened back to the podcast, obviously, when I edit it, and I laughed at the stuff. And listen, it's maybe not cool to admit that you laugh at yourself and your friends, but I did, so maybe you'll laugh too. I mean, it's going to be amazingly out of context. In truth, it's going to be completely out of context, and you're going to... I mean, I still think you'll find it fun. Listen, I'm just making this a bit longer than it needs to be. I'm going to now play you the clip, and then I'm going to talk to you after it. Okay, cheers.
I've listened to Zokes.
Oh, Jesus. See you later,
Yeah, this has got potential.
So straight off the bat, thank you very much, Chris. And then Adam Cook, I hate
I didn't say nothing.
No.
Yeah,
no,
sure,
he
you
didn't.
didn't.
Promise on my life, I did not.
Since you've been on the pod, he's not mentioned.
I thought he was going to say the Menzingers until he went into
Nah.
you.
Oh, so was I. I was like, that's the only band they ever mentioned.
Or the excerpts until he said you were in them, and I thought, huh?
No. So yeah, absolute. No, actually, I really like them.
I really hope you didn't like this.
That would have been
I don't want to embarrass you, but no, I'm really liking the album, man. I think it's very good. I really like that kind of post-hardcore sort of sound. So yeah. I've kind of been on that quite a bit this week, which is kind of surreal. But yeah, no.
Adam should have just said, "Oh no, post-hardcore. No, we were going for the folk. We were going for."
Oh shit!
Oh, you actually have
You got it completely wrong, mate. Sorry, you shouldn't listen to us anymore. Well,
fucked it.
Yeah,
I fucked it. No.
Yeah, no,
well, that there's an album that MTV released an album.
I thought you were going to say M people, and I don't know why.
No.
Because the chances of you actually having saying M people are just.
I fucking hate M people.
Everyone does.
Oh yeah.
Hate a voice. It's just
That was
painful.
Heather Smalls, wasn't it?
Yeah, Heather Small.
Yeah.
But there's MTV. It was MTV Pop Punk versus the World, and it's fucking incredible. Like, it's my era, 100%. Like the first, we played it on shuffle. And the first song was Blurry by Puddle of Mud. So it's got Puddle of Mud, and then it's got like Newfound
Puddle
Glory.
of Mud, the ones
and,
she fucking hates me. Was that them?
Yeah, like that.
Oh,
But it's got like Freak on a Leash on it, and like all the classics, like Fall Out Boy, just old Fall Out Boy, like Sugar We're Going Down and stuff
Remember
like
when
that.
all those bands come out that sounded like that? There was, because Creed, wasn't it, the churchy band?
Yeah.
Then there was
yeah.
Puddle of Mud, and there was another one. And it was
Stained.
Stained was another one, yeah. What was that
was my
song?
first-
I'm on the inside. Outside. Clear. I got it right. I got the side bit right.
Yeah, no, it was spot on. So yeah, it's got all that kind of stuff on. And Finch are on there, one of my favourite bands of all time. Yeah, so just a load of stuff. But I barely watch TV at the minute.
Same.
It's always when I get in from work and Lauren's got Hollyoaks on, and then it's Hollyoaks plus one, which is on at 7. It's the day after. So like, she doesn't mind me doing podcasts and playing games because I
Watch more Hollyoaks.
Yeah, and then if it's a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, it's EastEnders. So.
And I tell you what, Chris, we're not going to be talking about Hollyoaks or EastEnders on this podcast.
No. I don't want to.
There you go. That was amazing, wasn't it? That was tremendously funny, and you really thought, "Oh man, I can't miss gold like that." Adam Cook, who is now also talking in my ears, is now talking in third person about himself. But Adam Cook he sung a bit, and wow, they were all just great, and I can't miss that. Well, you don't have to, listener. You don't have to miss it. You can go to patreon.com/godisageek. That's patreon.com/godisageek. And for $1 a month, you will basically get the podcast as you do now. Only it's earlier. Like I said, this last week's went up on Sunday night, whereas everyone else gets it on Wednesday morning, so a lot earlier. And also, it was 20 minutes longer this week. And on top of that, you get early access to videos when they can go up. As soon as they're ready to go up, we give them to our Patreons. And we don't, obviously we have a schedule that we don't do that with the rest of them. We think that for $1 a month, like there's not a lot you can get for $1 a month. And I don't think you can get 20 minutes of entertainment for $1 a month, let alone exclusive access to other stuff. And, listen, I think it's worth it. I hope you do. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did and you fancy it, it's patreon.com/GodIsAGeek, $1 a month, which is less than £1 a month, but it makes a massive difference to God is a Geek. It means we can use that money to get stuff we really do need, make ourselves better, attend events, travel. It's really expensive to get on a train in this country to go to an event. Britain, eh? Yep. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it and appreciate your time. Love you. Bye-bye.